Blockchain technology is one of the hottest buzzwords in the business world today, and it could be the future of electronic money transactions and security. Let's take a look at what blockchain is and how it works. After going online, reading articles, or watching videos, you learned a lot about blockchain, but you still have difficulty understanding it. How can this type of technology be used in our world? Before we proceed, let's quickly summarize what a blockchain is. In brief, it's a decentralized database that everyone can have a copy of. Anyone with a copy can contribute to the database by adding new records, but nobody can tamper with any information that's already been input. This feature of blockchains ensures transparency, and anyone with a blockchain will see all the data written on it. So how can it be used? In this video, I'll tell you 9 examples. The first and most popular use of blockchain technology is in cryptocurrency. In 2008, when Bitcoin launched, it gave people a way to transfer currency between themselves without relying on a bank or other third-party institution. Today, over 18,000 different cryptocurrencies have been made. But before we talk about cryptocurrencies, let's get beyond them. Let's use blockchain in cars as an example. Have you heard of odometer fraud? Someone can make a car seem newer and less worn out by tampering with the odometer. As a result, customers are paying more than the car is worth. The government's strategy for countering this is to document miles from when a car is inspected. It's not effective enough though, so the most straightforward alternative would be to replace regular odometers with smart ones connected to the internet and write the car's mileage to a blockchain. Savvy ones would generate a secure digital certificate for each car. Because we use blockchain, no one can change the data, and everyone can research a vehicle's history. Blockchains are very efficient in the way they store data. Blockchains can store all sorts of information for a long period and can work for things like intellectual property or patents. They also function as a notary for important transactions. It just so happens that you don't need a notary to confirm signatures. The blockchain will suffice. It also happens that Stamp.io allows you to include the Bitcoin or Ethereum blockchain as a resource. In this way, a blockchain works like a notary does because you can prove you created a document at a certain time. Blockchain has yet to reach the level of credibility that notaries do from a legal perspective. As an alternative to pencil and paper voting, digital voting is exciting. At present, voting occurs in 2 ways: through paper voting, which is expensive, and electronic voting, which poses security issues. Countless countries abandoned digital voting in the past few years and instead returned to paper ballots, fearful that electronic voting could be tampered with and influenced by hackers. However, blockchains could be used to cast and store votes instead of written ballots. Beforehand, one must be able to recognize voters without compromising their privacy. Finally, if you're using the computers or phones of voters, you need to consider the possibility that they could be subject to malware designed to tamper with the voting process. As an example, this system also has to stand up to denial of service attacks because this would cripple the whole thing, which is something we're looking to avoid. This new reality would lead to a more transparent and practical voting system. But before we go any further, please subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up, and stick around for the rest of the video. Moving on. Another example of blockchain use is in the food industry. Here, the system tracks food items to keep the supply chain intact. To end up in your customer's hands, it must first be harvested or manufactured. One of the leading causes of foodborne illness is not enough food inspectors, resulting in outbreaks of illness across the country. Blockchains can help us generate a digital record for each batch of food we produce, telling us the origin of the products and any stops it has made during its trip from the farm to our supermarket. If an outbreak is detected, it will be possible to backtrack and warn the purchasers of other batches. Walmart and IBM are in the process of designing such a system. They found the origins of a box of mangoes in just 2 seconds, versus a few days or even weeks with the standard system. A system like this could be applied to other industries as well. We could use it to track more mundane goods and battle counterfeit goods by allowing consumers to verify that the products they purchase are authentic and come from the proper manufacturers. Another thing is, blockchain can be used to track the location of parcels. This is something that IBM and the shipping company Maersk are using. It provides a decentralized ledger that allows global trade to be much more efficient. With this, we looked at some of the ways blockchain can be used to keep track of information and ensure its integrity. But they can be even more powerful when enhanced with smart contracts. These tiny computer programs live on the blockchain and execute instructions when predetermined conditions are met. Insurers can use smart contracts to verify claims and compute the payments or grant you access to the lowest premiums when you are not driving. The further potential of smart contracts and blockchain technology also exists. We can store data securely on these ledgers. For example, they would allow you to store your medical records on a blockchain so doctors can only access them with your permission if you digitally sign a waiver. This allows you to maintain your identity and specify which data you want to reveal. You can't purchase alcohol in a bar without proving that you're over the legal drinking age, but you can prove that without revealing any other details with smart contracts. Or imagine that as royalty payouts for artists if a streaming service can be set up with smart contracts. The listener pays for the subscription monthly and has a running record of all the songs they listen to. A smart contract could track how often each song is played and automatically distribute funds to the respective artists. With that in mind, you can see that blockchain technology can be applied differently. I haven't touched on all the ways they can be used. This video is only an overview of what they're capable of, not an exhaustive list. That would be a long video, because so much happens in this space. Let me know in the comments what your favorite use of blockchain technology is, and if you found this video interesting, you should consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.